Hello, everyone. I'm Bottom to the Top. Today, we're going to go over ending the black man and the black woman's beef and why I'm thinking about that this morning. I just see a lot of YouTube just going in on each other, blaming the black woman for problems and blaming the black man for problems. Um, as you know, that when those two individuals fight, no one wins, especially us, and especially people in the black community. We need some type of resolution, and something needs to be done. The worst thing that's been occurring is that this has been a systematic type of racism that's been going on for over 300 years. And our biggest enemies, besides ourselves, is a piece of paper. The piece of paper is the Willie Lynch letter, Making of a Slave. I read this letter a long time ago, but the more I see what's going on YouTube and around the world, is the same systematic problems. And if you haven't got a chance to read Making of a Slave, in a nutshell, it puts basically distrust. It makes us distrust one another. It basically says in the document that distrust is stronger than trust, envy stronger than adulation, respect, or admiration. They put old black male versus the young black male, the young black male versus the old black male, dark skinned people versus light skinned people, light skinned people versus dark skinned people. They put male versus female, female versus male. They put age. They put intelligence. They put size. They put sex. Any variation to make one another fight amongst each other. Education level. Fine hair versus coarse hair. Over 300 years, this document has been written and is still true today in the black community, in which we don't trust each other. And that's why you see so much envy and hatred towards one another, and black women going up against the black male, and the black male going against the black woman. Whose fault is it for this type of community that we're raising? And quite frankly, we all are responsible, because no one has said, look, we don't have to live by this letter. This letter is pure evil that is still in practice. That's why none of the 60% is going to come and save your community. None of the 60% is going to create an atmosphere where the black male is looked as a male, a dominant figure in society. Other races, white man, Asian man, Latino man, they are free from this turmoil, because 300 years ago, they have put in plan the longest beneficial economic strategy possible, is to make the black family a slave in their mind. That is the reason why the letter is called Making of a Slave. At every chance they get, they are attacking the 10%. Now, black people only make up 10%, but why are we constantly being showed in a negative light? So how do we combat that? Instead of fighting amongst each other, how do we combat that type of behavior? Black is bad, black is bad, everything black is bad. But you're raising daughters and kids in an environment where black is bad, black is bad. That is the reason why they can pick us off. That's the reason why police officers can shoot us in the street dead and nobody gives a rat's butt. I should start cussing, but I don't want to. Because I want people to really understand that this can stop at any time we want to, because this stuff has been occurring for over 300 plus years. So every time we argue with one another, we are perpetuating this letter. Just imagine if Harriet Tubman was arguing with her fellow comrades. We will still be in handcuffs and chains, and still will be getting beat by whips. But instead, they're using different tactics. They're using their guns to put us down. We're using our guns to put ourselves down. It's called a slow death. And the more we argue amongst each other, we absolutely get nowhere. When are we going to learn to stop messing with them and start creating a unity of one another? I don't care about swirling. Who cares? No one cares. When the police pull you over, all they see is a black person. It doesn't matter if you're driving a Benz. Oh, I mean, imagine you're driving a Rolls Royce, and cop pulls you over. He's already gonna hate you, so he can't wait to do something to you. I grew up in an era where they plant drugs on you, and they have what they call a throwaway gun. They put a gun on you. You see the news. How many brothers are getting off from prison because of DNA evidence or them coercing a black man to commit a bogus crime he never committed? Guys are getting on YouTube blaming the women for raising these children. All this stuff is complete nonsense. Whatever you are consuming, stop it, because they have penetrated your mind, what you hear, what you see, what you eat, and what you drink. It is time for reprogramming. You want a better tomorrow? We can start today, but you have to listen. I'm just one person. You can share this video. I don't want any money. I just want this stuff to end. I'm trying to raise a family here. I'm trying to raise children. And I don't want them growing up in the world and saying that we never did anything for them. The best thing we can do is create a network together. Develop our own economic strategies for the long term. Let's have the 60% spend their money instead of spending our money. Another thing that makes me sick is just hearing brothers that actually, got out of their circumstances. And they keep saying that, okay, you're lazy. The black man or the black woman are lazy, or the women saying the black men are lazy. The first order of business in this letter was to destroy the black man. That is the first business. The first priority is to break them. The letter basically says you cannot break a black male in their natural state. Their natural states are to be kings, to dominate their family structure, to build the bricks of the house. Their natural state. The women cannot depend on a strong black male if he's looked at as weak. So every time you see a man in a dress or a GQ magazine or Pharrell, we need to burn that magazine and make sure you put that stuff out there. For every one bad media post of a black man or a black woman, we need to combat that with some positive images. 4 positive images of black men doing things in their neighborhood. Black people are the most caring people that I know. They only need you when there's a natural disaster. They only need you in a time of war. Once you come back, you're still in the same crap hole. Should I be PC on this? Politically correct? Or should I just say shithole? We cannot shit on the people before us. but you're letting one piece of paper dominate you for the rest of your life. All those people say, oh, you can make it out of the hood. Listen, there's a lot of people in corporate America. There are a lot of people with PhDs and master's degrees working at a government job because they have benefits for the family. This is complete racism that needs to stop. Then they bring over people from overseas and say, see, look, they can do it. Then they put a black president in there and say, oh, look what he can do, but he hasn't done nothing for you. See, as soon as later a black man or black woman has success, if too many of us have success, they'll make laws to bring us down. That's just the way racism has worked. But the worst thing that we can do is hate each other. And I just can't take it anymore. I can't take it anymore. What are we consuming? What are we eating? What are we drinking? What are we hearing? What are we seeing? Slave mentality all day. Blacks killing blacks. Look at the roles. I mean, I'm glad Netflix. I was so happy to see brothers taking all these roles, and then you find out they're from overseas. That those actors are not even from America. We're going to see lead roles, which is great. But why you can't have your own production studios? Tyler Perry has his own studio. What are black people doing to get the jobs needed for that studio? What are we doing? Are we educating our people on every aspect of that business? Acting, singing, dancing. That's what they want to show to us in the media. But who's controlling that? Who are the directors? Who are the grounds crew? Who are the demolition crew? Who are the stunt doubles? Who are building? Who's going to help? I can't wait to see what happens. But you need to create more avenues. This letter is based off a dependency on white supremacy. Distrust your fellow black person and depend on the white person. How do you think they've been making all their money all these years? Because as long as we spend $1 trillion a year, they can spend our money, and they will keep their money. You make $100,000, $200,000, $1 million. That's nothing compared to $1 billion the whole Walton family has that opened up a Walmart in the ghetto communities. It's time to starve these people out. But nobody wants to hear the truth. The truth is one document has been systematically structuring the way they operate when it comes to black people. And there's nothing to combat that. If there is, I haven't seen it yet. I know it's out there. I know some people have written articles of reverse engineering this whole document, and that there's a process that you have to go through to revitalize your mental state. But if you take away the ability of a person to think, that's what it is. It's thinking. You take away the ability to think, you have yourself a slave. And then you have a perpetual cycle going on, and it constantly goes on and goes on. They can't do that to a Mexican that goes across the border because he can't speak English and he can't write the language. But he knows he has to provide for his family, and that is the natural state of a man. Provide, protect, and lead his family to the top. And then you know what? He calls back his relatives to come over. And then they keep doing that. So each one teach one. This is ridiculous. You're going to see some people crying. We're going to march. I mean, like, you already can see it coming. America has made it socially justifiable to kill black men. Now they're killing black women. So this country should be in an uproar. It should be complete chaos. But you guys love this system. You can't wait to depend on this master. When are we going to wake up? When? I don't need about be pro-black or whatever. Everybody thinks differently, but at the end of the day, it's about survival. And you don't want your kids growing up driving down the street or just living in your home and being shot by the police. Not some hood person, the police. So when NWA makes an anthem say fuck the police, what do you think they talking about? Police, dogs, shootings, Rodney King. See, when they beat Rodney King's butt, that was it. So they said, okay, well, we can't just whip on him now. Let's just shoot him. This is before body cameras. So you can imagine what's going on. But see, the psychological damage that this racism has done is that we're willing to pick up our phones and record instead of going there to stop them. That's the difference. That's the docile mentality. That's the weakest link in American society. We are the weakest link. Because you will pick up your phone and record the police brutality of your brothers, your sisters, and their children. But you won't stop them as being an American citizen. It makes you weak. And for me, I think every NFL player, because all these guys train. All these guys are brutes. They're supposed to be like the strongest black men, but they're going to let the white man lead them. Right there, they're pussies. All of them. They can't even stand up for Kaepernick. So when we look at the black man, I told you this is the letter I'm telling you is pure evil. The letter is Willie Lynch letter, Making of a Slave. So you destroy the black man's image. Now, psychologically or indirectly, the woman says, well, he's too weak. He can't lead me. So now we have all these independent bullshit ass women out there that think they know every goddamn thing. And I'm sorry if you feel like I'm bashing you and I become a hypocrite, but I'm just trying to show you that this is what the letter is basically explaining. But you're actually dependent, not on the black man, but anybody else that comes along and says, hey, he's not right for you. Come here, I'll help you out and keep you in that submissive role. But you cannot see that male figure as the head of the household in which he should be. And that's why the relationships doesn't work. And yes, the men should take responsibility and own up and be a man. But we don't work together because we're very brilliant. We are very brilliant individuals. That's it, individuals. But collectively as a whole, we are dumb as a doorknob. Dumb. Because we let this shit affect us for 307 years. And it needs to stop now. What are you guys going to do about it? Think about it. Dark versus light. They took every feature of the black person and made it popular. How can you make something popular when you already have the features? Oh my goodness. But I can't talk about it. I mean, like this is ridiculous. A Kardashian having a big booty, like black women always had a big booty. So what do? They want to make their booty bigger? Let's talk about the deadbeat fathers out there. Get your shit together. You got fucking kids out here and you ain't doing shit. You ain't providing for them. You ain't teaching them about manhood. You're not showing them the ropes. As soon as they walk outside their doors, they're targets. Because that is what society is meant for, to bash the black male and uplift the white male. Movies, anything that they can do to make it uplift. And they're not going to apologize for their behavior. How many brothers and sisters went away for marijuana charges? Everything that you see is a slap in the face. And this cycle that we see is going to destroy us. So we need some way to combat that. And I just want to see, please help me out, because if there's some documents out of here how to reverse this thing. I know the fastest way to reverse this thing is to work together. People need to have a bartering system. We need to have an economic plan. We need to stop spending our money and keep it amongst ourselves. I believe in one of my posts I said that, I went to the store and had to something came up to $1.01, and the Chinese person said, "Hey, you need to go give me that 1 cent." So let America worry about the black man, but the Chinese man has swooped up and bought up everything. They're buying up stuff. America owes debt to the Chinese, a lot of debt, and they can bankrupt us anytime they want to. But then you hear trade war talks about Donald Trump. These guys are in bed together. This is an international policy. White supremacy is international. It's sad, but that's what it is, because black people, if we're smart, we realize that we're the second highest majority in the world. We're just because we're a minority. Minorities in the United States only represents like 2 or 3% of the world. Black people represent the second largest population. So if you ever think the white people are scared of us, yeah, they're scared of us, and they have every right to. But they've been practicing and torturing us for years. They're not scared of us. But this is real, and please, if you do hear any of my messages, please, let's not fight amongst each other. Let's find a way to combat this letter, and for the next 300 years, that we don't have to be slaves in the mind, but actually prosperity and prospering in the United States or anywhere else that we would like to go. It's the connection of people. See, this is the real red pill. This is not the fake red pill. A lot of people are in this blue pill mindset, but tell you what, the red pill is real. You can't pull this fake nonsense and over my eye. The red pill is real and strong. So if you're out there listening, please share, do whatever you can. If you get a chance, please read the letter, Making of a Slave, and you would definitely get the red pill. You would definitely get it. So I'm bottom to the top. Let the higher ups spend their money. Let's keep our money. I'm out.